Here we are. It's Your Music is Bad, and you should feel bad with Matt and Blake. Welcome to the cast, you bastards.
You all
rock and roll
at the beginning of every one.
It's part of the contract.
I think I left it in. I am Matt. You are Blake. Mike Portnoy, the drummer of Dream Theater, has rejoined Dream Theater after like a lot of years. I don't know exactly how many years. I think maybe like 16 or something. Was
it really 16? I didn't think it was that 16.
Long. It was in the teens.
I should look it up.
Yeah, I remember also hearing it being like, wow, it's been that long.
Well, there was the COVID years in there, and that time frame doesn't count.
Yeah, that's what
made no sense.
Happens when time passes, and nothing happens. First and foremost, I am hesitant to entirely give a shit. Don't get me wrong. I have several reasons why I think it could be a positive development. But also reasons to think that it won't necessarily affect my life in any significant way. Mike Portnoy left Dream Theater 2010. He left in 2010, so it was 13 years. The story goes that he felt like the band was kind of stagnating and that maybe they should take a break and recharge their batteries. And the rest of the band was like, no. And he was like, oh, well, then I guess I'll just go do some different stuff. They were like, okay. Bye. Which, from a business perspective, may have been the right call. Creatively, I think Mike was right, but
I would say for sure,
yeah,
not even
because honestly,
not even close.
one of my reasons for not being overly enthused is that there were several so-so albums before he left, and I don't think him rejoining is necessarily going to give them a bunch of new ideas.
Well, there's certainly been nothing original, creative, all that interesting, just at all. Since he left. Yeah. So his influence completely out of the band. They did nothing to move forward. Yeah. So maybe back will be better. There's
it could be
chance.
Like I'm not ruling out the possibility. So. Like I don't expect anything like super amazing, but a little bit, back. I don't even want to say the pocket because we usually use that. We reserve that for Toto and Porcaro, but a certain kind of pocket.
It's a different pocket. It's more of a I don't know,
pocket.
Bucket.
There's a pocket. There's a Dream Theater pocket, and
it's like the weird little watch pocket. It's not like the regular pocket. It's different.
A specialized pocket. Oh. But I would think it would be a bigger pocket, more like you said, like a bucket. Like it's an overly oversized pocket.
It's a 5-gallon pail.
My biggest issue. So Mike Mangini is a very good drummer. He's a really, really good drummer. I saw him back in the day with Steve Vai. And part of the reason he was so excited to get the gig in Dream Theater is that he had been sort of bouncing from like guitar guy or whatever, basically a sideman. And this was the steadiest gig he had over a really long period of time. And it was, you get 13 straight years playing with this band. But also, it very much became John Petrucci and Jordan Rudess's band in this time, as evidenced by them alone composing Dream Theater's worst album, The Astonishing. And back when Mike was in the band, it felt like he and JP were sort of the dominant forces, even if there was, a certain amount of contribution from everyone else, especially after Kevin Moore left. They both, I think, creatively and sort of organizationally were the leaders. And so then when Mike left, it was like, it was kind of just John's band. But then, Jordan gets a certain amount of whatever because he plays all the notes and whatnot. The last time I saw Dream Theater was on the Images and Words anniversary tour. And I figured there's no way they can mess this up. There's no way this won't be great. It's Images and Words, right? It's classic. And I'd seen them a few times, even before that with Mangini. It was fine. But for some reason, this was the worst Dream Theater show I had been to. And there was something really boring about it. And I think my suspicion is that they were playing to a click. And that therefore, when you play everything suddenly perfectly at album tempo, and that isn't what you used to do, it's weird and it feels weird and it feels slow.
Well, that's how you get out of the bucket. Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah. They spilled the bucket.
You're just in the computer bucket, and that's not as good.
So to that point, actually, because I did a little digging around too, because rumor mills and whatnot. and various drummer things. So yes, Mangini played with a lot of different people, been around a long time, known as this super incredible tight technical drummer, right? Not a pocket guy, maybe not a bucket guy, tight, hits all the beats, blah 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 blah, blah, doesn't fuck up. The scuttlebutt is he physically can't do that anymore.
Oh, really?
That's I know we've heard a couple of different things that we're going to talk about why he's leaving. I heard a lot of people say if you watch any of the more recent Mangini performances, him live, he's out there short arming it, alligator arming it. He can't physically hit all the things. And that's got a lot to do with this departure. And if you're this incredibly technical drummer and suddenly it's physically hard, yeah, that maybe you got to try to play to a click just to get yourself to keep up because you're in pain. So I don't know. None of this is hard facts.
The other side of that is I did hear, like I didn't see it myself, but somebody said they saw like a solid clip of him sort of like losing the tempo. And where Jordan Rudess had to turn his ridiculous rotating keyboard stand around to face him and kind of like conduct him as properly. Hit
him with the rhythm stick.
Exactly. Hit him with the rhythm stick. The rumor I heard, and I am going to tell you my source, but then I'm going to edit it out because I don't.
That's fair.
I got to protect my sources. And apparently they're not doing well financially. Like the last couple tours, last couple albums didn't sell well, which is interesting because the hype you hear from Dream Theater fans, I mean, I certainly felt the last album was just like just nothing, no surprises, right? I mean, he played an 8-string for the first time and you still couldn't tell because he's done other tuned down stuff before. It didn't matter. There was no like you had to listen like, oh, is this the 8-string track? I think so. That didn't even matter. It was just like same old.
It's the same old. They're a not very progressive metal band. And that is
but
bad.
you'd hear online people be like, oh, it's so good. They won a Grammy. And like, but the thing I was thinking is in the streaming age, if you convince yourself an album is good, but then subconsciously realize it isn't, you're just going to sort of stop listening to it. And back when you used to have to buy albums, it was too late. You'd already bought it and they would be like, oh no, you love it. We have your money. It's like, I don't care if you're listening to it anymore. We have your money. But in the streaming age, they count streams. That's like how they do charts and stuff now. And regardless of how much it actually pays out, it's a significant metric. And so if people are actually listening to it and then kind of like just like I listened to it once just for science and then was like, yeah, I don't need to listen to that ever again. So
I didn't even listen to it, I'll be honest. I kind of haven't in 10
that's
years.
Fine. That's probably the correct move. Again, I'm a masochist, so
I'm there too. I just kind of gave up on them, which is what we're talking about.
I haven't gone to see them on the last couple tours either. So I would not be surprised. I didn't think that was the case from the online buzz, but now it kind of makes sense, and I wouldn't be surprised if the people saying who actually liked it are the people who were the few people who are still listening and still enthused, and then everyone who doesn't care anymore just isn't even talking about it. It's just like, there's a new Dream Theater, who knows, who cares, So that would be a perfect reason. That combined with Mike playing on John Petrucci's last solo album and them doing Liquid Tension 3, which was all super boring and like it would make sense that the time had come for them to cash that check. And because the other part was that supposedly it's so bad that the label was pulling support and like wasn't going to give them money to record the next album and stuff, and so they're going to be like, you can record it yourself. This is all extremely like fourth hand hearsay, but I would not, and I'm sure they will get a boost. The question is how long the boost will last.
Of course, yeah.
And
will this coincide with the new album? Will Portnoy be involved in the writing of said new album? Will it matter to fans? Will enough people care at this point?
Yeah, and I'm sure. I mean, I don't know how long it'll take, but I'm sure they'll do it. And they'll immediately. They already announced it. I'm sure they'll immediately go to record something. I would almost be surprised if, I mean, Mangini has a solo album coming out, and that was announced like practically
clearly
the same
been working
time.
on it.
So it's possible they already started working on something. That would probably be the smart, like...
Wouldn't surprise me in any way, shape, or form. Yeah, hey, we're going to do this, but maybe let's not officially do it while we work on all this shit in the background, and then we're ready to go. Hey, by the way, surprise, and here's an album.
The only kind of reason not to would be to try to keep it quiet. But like, if you're... The way they usually record, it's like, it wouldn't necessarily be hard to keep it from leaking or whatever. So that's a strong possibility. Like, it would be nice if it was better. I wouldn't mind if the click thing was because of Mangini, then I might be tempted to see them again, because I don't think Mike is going to play their old material that way. And while I'm sure that he'll play a few tracks from the Mangini era, I would expect the next tour... First of all, I'm sure whatever new album they do, they'll play way too much of that. And then they'll probably play a few tracks from the less good Portnoy stuff. But they'll, there's no way that they're not going to play a solid chunk of classic stuff. And it might have the energy that they were lacking when I saw them play Images and fucking Words. And it was fucking boring.
Oh, God. After this announcement, all I saw was Metropolis 3 whatever 3. Give us more. We want the thing now. So
I almost want them to do it just to see how bad it would be. Because it would be like, what? Are they going to really like... The second one wasn't even really a sequel, like conceptually. They just were like, let's take the words we said in that other song and map them onto...
No, there were themes, musical
map them onto
themes,
the plot of a Kenneth Branagh movie. That was not that big. And like, to do a sequel to that sequel would be... It would almost certainly be as mediocre as Mindcrime 2. But I kind of want them to do it for the
I'll take all of this over more of the Alcoholics Anonymous stuff. Well,
luckily there's only
Shattered Fortress. I don't need any more of that.
Luckily, there's only 12 steps, and they already did all of them. So hopefully that's done.
Don't do them again. Right? Don't relapse.
Yeah. No relapse tracks.
Or maybe relapse to the good shit. Relapse farther. Right. I don't know. Does Dream Theater need to take up drinking? There's a lot of bands that got clean and sober and got also terrible at the same time.
One. Petrucci I don't believe is, because I believe he's behind their branded whiskey, which was
sure this whole thing.
Which again, that was the one that I was never gonna try because it was like $200. But that this one dude on YouTube did, and I'm trying to think what else to say about. So I sent you this clip, which is Finally Free, the last track on Scenes from a Memory. Metropolis Part 2, and it's known for being this... It's sort of a drum solo, but it's like a well-used drum solo. It's like the outro of the song, and in it, Portnoy starts playing a lot of fills, and it's, if you were like a drum nerd and a Dream Theater nerd, you would know it as like a significant... again, it's not exactly a drum solo, but it's sort of functionally and musically kind of is one, because everything else kind of keeps repeating the same part, and he kind of just starts to gradually go off more and more and more.
Drum showcase, maybe.
Exactly. And I think it's a pretty good one for his style of drumming.
Oh, very much.
And this video, which I will try to include in the show notes, is Mangini playing that section and then Portnoy playing that section. Now, to be fair, Portnoy's playing it on the Scenes from Memory DVD, and Mangini's playing it very recently. But like, I wouldn't expect Mangini to play that part exactly the way Portnoy does. But he did claim in the early days that he was going to like really be true to Portnoy's parts or some crap like that. This was very not true to what Portnoy was doing, and
it was maybe a tenth of what Portnoy was doing.
While some of it was very technical, it was very like untasteful. Like, there were parts in there that were like polyrhythms that were like so far out that you were like, what are you doing? This is not helpful. This is like ruining killing the groove. Whereas Portnoy was like, as far as out as he would go, it kind of like, it works. It ebbed and flowed. It drove it.
Right. Again, you're still playing a part of a song. And it's not a solo. You can't just dick around off into nowhere. It's the outro,
like, to the album. It's the coda. It's sort of like, and it worked like that. It kind of drove that repeated part towards the end of the song.
Yeah, it hits the themes, which that's the thing. That's
exactly
the whole thing.
And Mangini's was bad. And
it was real
he was
bad.
like, "Oh, I'm fucking around with fast shit," but like you were like, "But it's so bad, and it's so doesn't fit." And again, like there's parts that are really syncopated when Mike plays it, and some polyrhythms and stuff. But Mangini's polyrhythms were like, I mean, take it so far out that, like, yes, technically I am still on the beat, but it is awful, and you don't want to hear it.
It also had absolutely no groove.
Exactly. That's the key. It
not
really,
even a little bit.
Killed the groove.
It had no feeling. In a live recording where you're doing a lot and the band is playing and you should presumably be playing with them, it has no feeling. You're the drummer. You have to have feeling, or guess what? Your music is bad and you should feel bad. It's the show. You're the show. Don't be the show. I have to.
So exactly. And it really highlights Mike's part in the original, because he does manage to, get crazy, get syncopated, but still keep that. In fact, again, it adds to the groove. It kind of drives it forward because it kind of keeps coming back. It's like goes in and out. And because like, here's the crazy thing about this is, like, I guess I haven't even thought about them with Mangini in a while, other than the last album and that stupid Elon Musk song that won a Grammy for some reason, which I assume that just means they paid somebody off. Like, I didn't have anything bad to say about him other than that Images and Words show, which I didn't completely attribute to him. Although now I wonder if that might be why they would play to a click and have to play it at like album tempo. But yeah, this is starting to really highlight some of the issues, and I'm kind of like, okay, good. Let's get Mike back here and see what happens. Can't hurt. Maybe you get one good one out of it.
Cannot hurt. That's exactly the thing. Let's give it a try. See what we get.
And sometimes, you get lucky. You get one more good one before they're done. And
I'll take a good one.
Wouldn't be bad. I wouldn't mind it.
They're getting older. It's fine. Whatever. I don't know what these guys are gonna do if they aren't Dream Theater. I don't think these guys are gonna really like go off and do significant solos that are going to make any money.
does solo stuff. Rudess does solo stuff.
But is it making
Certainly
money?
less money.
Are these career projects?
Money, but a little bit. Well, that was the thing back in the day before Dream Theater hit their like financial stride, which was about the same time that they got creatively uninteresting. They would do side projects. Every sort of like significant prog band would do all these side projects together, and the story was that they made just enough money, a little bit here, a little bit there, that it all added up to not having to get a job. And although not for all of them, some of them had jobs, and there was the things like, oh, can you believe it? This band you like still has a job. And so no, I don't think they would do as well just doing the side projects.
Well, I don't see these guys showing up as studio guys. They're not going to make Toto money in the studio, putting in the work.
There's not the same kind of demand for that. I mean, honestly, I think with Portnoy coming back in, they'll probably do well enough to like eke out a few more albums, and they'll get old anyway, and then they'll probably just like, I mean, I can't imagine they don't have money unless they've just been frivolous,
pissing it away.
Yeah, like because they were doing well for a while for sure.
Yeah, they lost it all in the whiskey.
They probably lost it all in the Astonishing, and trying to do like a whole tour that was just the Astonishing, and then they probably didn't recover from that, and then add COVID, and I don't know.
Well, I guess as long as they don't put out a disco metal record, which
exactly
leads into the other topic we wanted to get into.
We can transition to it, but just it is gonna be like a separate episode. But that's fine. I'll leave that at the end.
Okay. Maybe we should leave that for the other episode. That's fine.
I'll put that at the end of the Dream Theater episode, and then it'll be like a tease. Check out the next episode where we talk about disco metal.
There you go. That checks out.